Mr. Speaker, I'd like to thank Chairman Goodlatte for helping to bring this to the floor very quickly. Also to the Majority Leader-elect Kevin McCarthy for his hard work. And also to my good friend on the other side of the aisle, Representative Blumenauer, who's had a very passion for this program since even before I got here. And at a time when we just get done debating a lot of tough things, it's great to see times when Republicans and Democrats can come together and do things for those that fight hard on behalf of our country and on behalf of theirs. The Special Immigrant Visa program was designed to provide safe refuge to the countless brave Afghan men and women who willingly put their lives on the line and serve shoulder to shoulder with our service members in Operation Enduring Freedom. This program is critical to our national security and to our service members and veterans in any future engagement that will likely come at some point in the future. The CIV programs provide life-saving protections to those who served in U.S. missions and now are in a danger as a result of the end of that service. The Taliban are hunting these people down as we speak here today. Because it's in our national interest security to keep these promises and protect our allies, and simply because it's the right thing to do. I want you to think about for a second, in a time of war, what can American soldiers and American Marines and airmen and sailors do in order to communicate with the local population and to get them on our side versus a very tough and determined enemy? And of course, the basic thing to that is to be able to speak to the local population. And so you think about in many cases these young men and women, these translators that in some cases wouldn't even put on anything to obscure their face, would stand side by side with American soldiers against Taliban in very tough areas. Many of them now, as America withdraws its mission from Afghanistan and winds down its mission, now find themselves under threat every day. And whether we agree or we disagree with the war in Afghanistan and anything like that, the reality of it is this, is we all can agree that those that were willing to stand by us, to stand against this very, very bad enemy, well deserve to come here. We, of course, want to ensure that we're going through the proper process, and I want to commend the State Department for recently improving their ability to process these applicants and to do so correctly and safely. But I also would remind folks that when we talk about the United States of America and who do we want here, people that are willing to stand shoulder to shoulder with our soldiers and defend our cause and defend their cause are the ones that we'd like to see in the United States of America enjoying their freedom as well. And I mentioned earlier the threats that these people live under. It's estimated that multiple people are being killed every day that, in fact, engage in this kind of effort on behalf of the United States. And so I want to commend everybody in this body for standing together to say that we need to stand with those that stood with us. Recently, there was a very interesting news special that talked about the reality of what was going on and interviewed a lot of these translators. And something that struck me the most was somebody that had been denied a visa, or at least had taken a very long time to get, still had faith. And he stood up and had faith because he said...
An additional minute.
Thank you. He stood up and he said he had faith that he was going to make it to the United States of America because the United States of America came to his country to help them. And he knows that the United States of America will do the right thing. And it's inspiring to see that kind of belief in our country that we have, but to see it shared by people in war-torn areas. So again, to my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, thank you very much. Representative Blumenauer, thank you for your friendship and your hard work. And Mr. Speaker, with that, I'll yield back.